The Mysterious Death of Cleopatra. In the dim light of an Egyptian sunset, the air thick with the scent of lotus blossoms and the distant sound of the Nile's gentle flow, lies the city of Alexandria, the cradle of ancient knowledge and power. Within its grand palace, cloaked in intrigue and shadow, lived Cleopatra VII, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. Her life was a tapestry of love, politics, and war, woven with threads of romance and ambition. Yet, it was her death that cemented her legacy in the annals of history, shrouded in mystery and speculation. What truly happened in the final moments of Cleopatra's life? A queen's final days. As we step into the world of Cleopatra, we find ourselves in a time of turmoil and uncertainty. Rome, the burgeoning empire, had its eyes set on Egypt, the jewel of the Mediterranean. Cleopatra, ever the strategist, had aligned herself with two of Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar and later, Mark Antony. These alliances brought both love and war to her doorstep. In 31 BCE, the Battle of Actium marked the beginning of the end for Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Their combined forces were defeated by Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus. Following the defeat, Antony and Cleopatra retreated to Alexandria, their stronghold, knowing full well that Octavian's forces would soon come knocking. Inside the palace, whispers of betrayal and despair filled the halls. Antony, devastated by the defeat, fell into despair. Cleopatra, however, remained resolute. She began to prepare for the inevitable confrontation with Octavian, but also for the possibility that she might not live to see another day. The queen had always been a master of her fate, and she intended to leave this world on her own terms if necessary. The final meeting. The day came when Octavian's legions breached Alexandria's defenses. Antony, hearing false news that Cleopatra had taken her own life, fell upon his sword, mortally wounding himself. As he lay dying, his servants brought him to Cleopatra's hiding place within her mausoleum. There, the lovers shared their final moments, Antony dying in Cleopatra's arms. With Antony dead and Octavian at her gates, Cleopatra's options dwindled. Octavian intended to parade her as a trophy in his triumphal return to Rome, a fate worse than death for the proud queen. Cleopatra knew that her legacy and the future of her children hung in the balance. The enigmatic death. The details of Cleopatra's death have fascinated historians and storytellers for centuries. According to the most widely accepted version, Cleopatra chose to end her life with the bite of an asp, a venomous snake. This tale, passed down through the ages, is filled with dramatic imagery. The Queen of Egypt, draped in royal finery, succumbing to the serpent's venom in her final act of defiance. But how much of this is true? And how much is legend? Some ancient sources, like Plutarch and Cassius Dio, describe Cleopatra's death in vivid detail, mentioning the arrival of the basket of figs, the concealed asp, and the quiet, dignified passing of the queen. Plutarch writes that she was found dead, her handmaiden Iris dying at her feet, and Charmian, her loyal attendant, barely alive, but adjusting the crown on Cleopatra's head before she, too, succumbed. However, the tale of the asp has been questioned by modern historians. The logistics of smuggling a snake into her heavily guarded quarters, the time it would take for the venom to cause death, and the reliability of the ancient sources all raise doubts. Alternate theories. Some scholars propose that Cleopatra used a fast-acting poison, a concoction she had prepared in her extensive studies of alchemy and pharmacology. Cleopatra was known to have had a keen interest in poisons, often testing their effects on prisoners. This theory suggests she used a potent mixture that ensured a quick and painless death, avoiding the prolonged agony of snake venom. Another theory speculates that Cleopatra's death was not self-inflicted, but rather orchestrated by Octavian himself. Knowing that Cleopatra's suicide would prevent him from parading her in Rome, but would also remove a significant threat, he might have ordered her assassination. This theory is supported by the fact that Octavian allowed Cleopatra's children to live and be raised in Rome, a gesture of political calculation rather than mercy. The aftermath. Regardless of the method, Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of Egypt's absorption into the Roman Empire. Octavian, upon finding Cleopatra dead, was reportedly furious. His prize, the living symbol of Egypt's defiance, had slipped through his fingers. Yet, he seized the moment, presenting himself as the victor who had brought the exotic and rich lands of Egypt under Roman control. Cleopatra's body was laid to rest beside Mark Antony, as she had requested. Her death, a blend of tragic romance and political maneuvering, became the stuff of legend, immortalized in art, literature, and drama. Shakespeare's portrayal in Antony and Cleopatra captured the enduring fascination with her life and death, depicting her as a complex figure of beauty, intelligence, and unyielding will. Cleopatra's legacy. Cleopatra's legacy endures not just because of her dramatic end, but also because of her remarkable life. She was a ruler who navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics with skill and charisma. Her intelligence, fluency in multiple languages, and understanding of statecraft made her a formidable leader. Cleopatra was the last pharaoh of Egypt, a bridge between the ancient pharaonic traditions and the New World Order of Rome. Her death, mysterious and evocative, symbolizes the end of an era. The exact circumstances remain a topic of debate and intrigue, reflecting the enigmatic nature of the queen herself. Did she die by the bite of an asp, the sting of a poisoned dagger, or through the machinations of her enemies? Each theory adds to the rich tapestry of her legend. Theories revisited. To truly understand Cleopatra's death, we must revisit the theories and examine the evidence. The story of the asp, while dramatic, is laden with symbolic meaning. The serpent was an emblem of royalty and divinity in ancient Egypt, representing both the goddess Wajet and the idea of rebirth and immortality. Choosing this method of death would align with Cleopatra's identity as a living goddess and her desire to control her fate. On the other hand, the poison theory aligns with Cleopatra's known interests and her practical nature. As a ruler well-versed in the uses of poisons, she would have had access to a variety of substances capable of ensuring a swift death. The historical accounts of her experimenting with poisons lend credibility to this possibility. The assassination theory, while more contentious, cannot be entirely dismissed. Octavian was a shrewd politician who would not hesitate to remove obstacles to his power. Cleopatra's continued existence posed a threat to his narrative of complete victory. Her death, under mysterious circumstances, provided him with the final triumph he sought, albeit with the stain of potential foul play. The role of her children. Cleopatra's children played a significant role in her final days and the aftermath of her death. Her son by Julius Caesar, Caesarion, was seen as a direct threat to Octavian's claim to power. Caesarion was captured and executed on Octavian's orders, ensuring that there would be no rival claimants to Rome's throne. Her children with Mark Antony, however, were treated differently. Cleopatra Selene, Alexander Helios, and Ptolemy Philadelphus were taken to Rome and raised by Octavia, Octavian's sister and Antony's former wife. This gesture of clemency was likely a strategic move, allowing Octavian to present himself as a magnanimous ruler while neutralizing potential threats through assimilation into Roman society. Cleopatra's tomb. The location of Cleopatra's tomb remains one of history's enduring mysteries. Ancient sources suggest that she and Antony were buried together in a mausoleum she had constructed. Despite numerous searches, the tomb has never been definitively located. Some archaeologists believe it lies beneath the modern city of Alexandria, submerged and hidden by centuries of urban development and natural disasters. The quest to find Cleopatra's tomb continues to capture the imagination of archaeologists and historians. Discovering her final resting place could provide invaluable insights into her life and death, potentially revealing artifacts and evidence that could shed light on the true circumstances of her demise. Modern reflections. Cleopatra's life and death continue to resonate in modern times. She remains a symbol of feminine power, intelligence, and resilience. Her story has been retold through various cultural lenses, reflecting contemporary values and interests. From Elizabeth Taylor's iconic portrayal to modern literary and cinematic adaptations, Cleopatra's legacy endures as a figure who transcends time and culture. Her death, shrouded in mystery, invites us to explore the complexities of her character and the tumultuous world she navigated. Whether she chose death by asp, poison, or was the victim of political intrigue, Cleopatra's final act was one of defiance and control, cementing her place as one of history's most fascinating figures. Conclusion: the eternal mystery. In the end, the true cause of Cleopatra's death may never be known. What remains is the powerful image of a queen who chose her own destiny in the face of inevitable defeat. Cleopatra's death is a testament to her indomitable spirit, her refusal to be a pawn in Rome's triumph, and her enduring legacy as one of history's most fascinating figures. As we stand in the fading light of Alexandria, the city she loved and ruled, we are left with the haunting question: what were Cleopatra's final thoughts as she faced her end? Perhaps she saw herself as part of the eternal cycle of life and death that had defined Egypt for millennia, her story blending into the myths and mysteries of the ancient world. Cleopatra's life and death continue to captivate us, a blend of history and legend that speaks to the enduring power of her legacy. The queen who ruled with wisdom and courage, who loved fiercely and died on her own terms, remains an icon of resilience and mystery. Her story is far from over. It lives on in our imaginations, inviting us to explore the depths of her enigmatic life and the secrets that may yet lie hidden in the sands of time.